We're going to be starting our installation on the workbench. The parts you're going to need are the flat bracket along with the post. You're also going to need your M6 by 10 socket head, and you're going to need your M8 by 12 button head. The only tool you're going to need is a 5mm hex. And what we're going to be doing is you'll see that the two holes on the bottom correspond with the two holes on your flat bracket. You're going to put your bolt through and screw it in to the back of the post. And then you're going to do the same thing with the socket head. And then take your 5mm hex and tighten it up. And now we will move on to the bike. For the next step, you're going to need the bracket that you just assembled. You're going to need 4 of the M6 by 12 socket head bolts, as well as your 5mm hex. You're going to take the assembly you just put together, and you'll see at the end of your max mount you have a hole. Your post is going to fit through this from underneath. And then you're going to fasten it through these 4 holes. So go ahead and put the bracket through and then start putting in the bolts. And then take your 5mm hex and tighten them up. You'll notice that in this opening there are 2 holes, and they correspond with the 2 holes on the bottom of this bracket. We're going to attach this with the 2 M6 16 socket head bolts. And you're not going to tighten these up, you're going to leave it loose so that when we put on the luggage rack, you'll be able to get it perfect. Now we're going to attach the luggage rack. And to do that, you're going to need 1 M8 by 20 pan head, and you're going to need 2 M6 by 20 pan heads. And you're going to need a 4mm and 5mm hex. When you're putting on your luggage rack, you'll see that this hole corresponds with these holes. And this allows you to position the luggage rack where you want it. Once you decide which position you want it in, go ahead and take your M8 bolt and put it into the hole. Start threading it in. And then take your M6 bolts and start threading those in. And don't forget to go underneath and tighten the 2 bolts on the bottom of this bracket. To attach the backrest pad, you're going to need the pad itself, and you're going to need the angled bracket. The side with the 2 holes mounts to the bracket that's on the backrest pad. And you can adjust the height of the backrest pad by changing where you bolt it. Like this would be the highest part, the middle, and the lowest. So we're going to go ahead and put 12 bolts into each of those threaded holes. And this is going to take a 4mm hex to tighten it up. Now we can go ahead and attach it to the luggage rack. Now we're going to attach the backrest pad, and to do that you're going to need your 4mm hex and 2 of your flathead bolts. And the way this works is this slides underneath the luggage rack, and the holes in the bracket correspond with the holes on the luggage rack. So you just get it to the position you want, and then you put in your bolts and tighten them down. And the installation is complete.